How you doing? I'm Matt with liftthebarbell.com. Today I'm reviewing the Texas Deadlift Bar. This one's finished in blue Cerakote. Let's get started. Don't forget to check the description below. If you click that link and go to my website, liftthebarbell.com, there are high quality images of this bar as well as a written review of what I think. Hey, the first thing I want to do is thank my beautiful wife for buying me this deadlift bar as a gift. She knew that I had been wanting one for a very long time. Even when I was in a commercial gym, before I started my home gym build, I'd always wanted to use a deadlift bar. They didn't have one at the gym. I kind of wanted to know what it was like. She bought me one as a gift, so thank you, baby. Before we get started with the review, let me tell you that I've never competed in powerlifting. I'm just an average guy who likes to lift weights, whether that be in the commercial gym or the home gym. I've been lifting for about 10 years now. I enjoy it immensely. It's one of my most favorite things to do as far as a hobby. So I'm just a hobbyist. I am not a professional. Let's get started. I don't deadlift over 500 pounds. To get that out of the way, I've seen a lot of reviews on these bars that say if you're not lifting over 500 pounds, they're not going to do you any good. It's not worth getting. I've seen a few of those. So, I mean, that's up to you. I wanted one. My wife knew I wanted one, so she bought it for me for the home gym, and I love it. Gosh, I love this bar. This is one of the better bars I've ever used. This is on par with the Ohio Power Bar that I like so much. So I like it. So my top pull so far to date is 470 pounds. I can rack pull over 500, but I can't. I've yet to get it off the floor. I'm working my way up. I plan to be over 500 by the end of the year or middle of next year. I don't know, we'll see. So I think a lot of the reason people say that if you're not lifting over 500 pounds, this is not going to benefit you any, and that may be true. But I can feel the difference when I'm using this bar versus a power bar. 225 a little bit, you can start feeling the bar move just a little before the weights come off the ground. Certainly at 315, certainly at 405, I feel the difference. I like that it's a smaller diameter bar than a power bar. I like the knurling is very aggressive. Even with the Cerakote finish, this bar is aggressive. It's got an aggressive knurl, but it doesn't cut you, so it's not tearing your skin open. I like that there's no center knurl and that this part is, the middle part is smooth so it doesn't tear up your shins. And I also like that the outer edges doesn't have knurl for bands so it doesn't mess up your bands. So a Texas Deadlift Bar versus the Ohio Power Bar, the length is a little bit longer on a Texas Deadlift Bar than it is versus a power bar. You'll also see that the collars are pushed out further, which gets the weight away from you a little further, which is supposed to help you lift more weight because the weight's further away. It gives you more time to start picking that bar up and gaining momentum. The sleeves are ribbed. It's a nice textured rib. Keeps those plates from sliding around so much versus something like the Rep Fitness stainless steel, the power bar, stainless Rep Fitness power bar has smooth sleeves and those weights will actually slide on this thing pretty easy. Comparing the knurling on the Ohio Power Bar bare steel to a Cerakote Texas Deadlift Bar, Ohio Power Bar knurling is a little bit more aggressive, I think, than this Cerakote finish, and probably the Cerakote is dulling the grippiness or the aggressiveness of the knurl a little bit, but I mean it is a very minor difference, very, very minor difference. This thing is awesome. It has this knurl mark here. You can see where the knurling stops. For the center is very neat. Also, the blue color is a lot darker than it looks like on the website, which I like. You see that the collars are a lot wider than Ohio Power Bar, so a lot thicker. Pushes those weights out a little further. And again, the overall length is longer on the deadlift bar than it is a power bar. So if you want to check out the width between the Ohio Power Bar bare steel and the Cerakote Texas Deadlift Bar, you see how it's vibrating. That lower tensile strength, lower diameters are going to give it more whip than say a Texas Deadlift or than a power bar. So you can see there's a lot of difference in the way it vibrates or the whip of the bar, even just from kicking it. That's the Ohio Power Bar, Texas Deadlift Bar. You get a whole lot more whip from the Texas Deadlift Bar than you do the Ohio Power Bar, which is to be expected since this is 29 millimeter. I think it's like a 210,000 tensile strength. This is 27 millimeter at 190,000. So even stepping on it, you can feel the Texas Deadlift Bar gives. The Ohio Power Bar does not give. So what I like about the deadlift bar is the fact that the weights are a little bit further away from you, that it does have that good whip. Starting at 135, you start pulling, you're not going to feel any difference to me versus a power bar. It comes right up. The bar doesn't move at that weight. So you start at 225, I start feeling a little bit of difference there, not a lot. And it probably may just be a placebo effect of me actually using that bar and thinking that it's actually flexing a little bit at that weight. So at 275, I do feel a little bit of that flex. Again, it's very minor at that weight, and but I do like the feel of the bar moving a little bit before I start my pull. I feel like it's giving me a little bit of momentum. Then at 315, I definitely start feeling that flex. And maybe somebody that's deadlifting way over 500 pounds is not as won't feel that at 315, but just an average guy like myself who just has been lifting weights for a while, but I feel the difference. I feel the 315. Now at 365, I definitely feel it. That bar starts flexing a little bit before I push up off my lift, and you can feel that whip coming up. And then starting at 405, it's a big difference to me at 405 versus a power bar. It whips, even if you lock out hard, you'll feel the bar flex, and the weights kind of bounce or whip. It'll whip on you. So if you're locking out real heavy and hard, you'll feel that whip. Well, you see me here pulling at 455. This is my top set for the day. You'll see that bar whip. You'll see the bend in the bar. It just looks cool. Don't deny it. It looks cool when that bar bends and you're picking up that weight. That's why we want it. Let me be honest with you. I'm coming for that 500. I think the Texas Deadlift Bar is going to get me there. I'm glad that I have it in the gym. I mean, I would buy it again if something happened to it. I mean, it's that good. I just like it. I like the idea of it. I like having it. I like how it feels. I like how it feels lifting with it. Everything about the bar I'm extremely pleased with. I have no complaints on the bar at all. So if you're trying to decide should you get a deadlift bar or should you not get a deadlift bar, that's up to you. It depends on how much you deadlift. Deadlift is by far my favorite lift, more than bench, more than squat. I deadlift or have been deadlifting longer than I have any of the other lifts. I enjoy deadlifting. It's the most challenging, and I can pick up the most weight, which is why I like it. I mean, it's kind of an ego-driven lift, let's be honest. And so I like the squat too, is my second, bench is my third, but my bench is my worst lift by far. So I really enjoy deadlifting with the deadlift bar versus a power bar because of that whip. Even at 315 and up, I can really start telling the difference in that versus a power bar. That power bar is not going to move. Even at 500 pounds or 470 on a power bar, it's not going to whip very much at all. And so when you start using the deadlift bar at 315, at 405, 455, which is my top lift on this video, you can feel the whip in it. When you start pulling off the ground, it gives you just a little bit of momentum, I believe. And so when you start pulling, you push that floor away from you, you pick up on that bar, you can feel it pull just a little bit, and that gives you just a tiny bit of momentum as you're coming up out of that lift. And I recommend you get it if you deadlift a lot and if you want a deadlift bar. I mean, it's all it comes down to. None of this stuff has to have. So I didn't have to have this PR 4000. I chose it because I wanted it. I could have gotten away with a power rack off of Amazon for a lot less expensive. Same thing with the Ohio Power Bar. I've always heard that it was one of the better bars out there. I wanted it. I barely caught it in stock, and then that's why I ordered it, and I'm very glad I got it. I like it. So that just comes down to what you like in your gym. We all know that this stuff isn't a necessity. We just buy it because we want it. So, and that's why I got the deadlift bar, why my wife bought me the deadlift bar, because she knew I wanted it. Hey, thanks for watching. Don't forget to click this box right here to take you to some more of my videos. I appreciate it if you'd watch those for me. Let me know what you think. Also, if you share this on your social media, I'll give you a virtual fist bump. Don't forget to subscribe. Check the website, liftthebarbell.com, for more reviews of home gym equipment. Help you make a better buying decision.